You're listening to the Hacienda Life Podcast, the golfing edition, with your hosts, Chris and Sue.
Here we are again on the Hacienda Life Golf Edition podcast. I'm here with Sue. Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
And also, we've got a special guest.
Mr. Steve Crook, a
Steve
golfer.
Crook.
Good name for an accountant.
A very good name for an accountant, yeah.
I met Steve, about 4 or 5 months ago over at your party with Brian.
Yeah.
And I remember him telling me, accountant, name's Steve Crook. He's just one of those things you just think it's great, isn't it? You see these adverts where they say Crook and Son or something, as a firm of accountants. But Steve, welcome and thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
You have been a resident on HJ for how long?
We bought 8 years ago this July.
Okay.
So,
And what brought you here? I always ask people this question because I'm intrigued as to how they found HDA.
ironically, it was we were looking for a place, maybe in France, to have a gîte business. I know from Sue that's...
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Latterly, we know that's not a good idea. But we saw, obviously, this area, Mercia area, on a place in the sun. Prices looked good. The location looked great. Microclimate.
Yeah. Had you ever been here before?
No. We've been to Spain, the other end, as I call it, the Malaga end.
Yeah.
But we came here specifically because there are a lot of golf courses in this area.
Right. So you say we?
My wife and I.
Are you both golfers?
Yeah. She wasn't, but our ultimate plan was that yes, we would both play golf because it's a thing that you can do together.
Okay.
Which was really nice.
So let me just dig into that one, if you don't mind. How long have you been a golfer?
I used to be a golfer 25 years ago.
Okay.
I had a snowboarding accident followed by a skiing accident.
Blimey.
And I didn't play for 12 years.
Right.
When we bought here, the intention was that we would both play. I didn't play for about another 18 months after we bought, and then just got involved with the club and went from there. Really.
But what got you into golf? So when I look back, all I can remember as a teenager thinking golf is boring, right? And I remember I used to watch the TV on a Sunday evening, and they used to have Peter Alice on and that tune, and I used to go, oh my God, this is so boring. So I had no interest in golf until I hit about 20, right? And then when I was 20, for some reason, I moved to Manchester, and then someone said, why don't you go and play golf? And so I used to go down to this massive field and just hit a 7-iron, and then I thought, right, I'm going to go. And then I got hooked. And then it was like I would play in every weather, hail, snow, and everything else. Just got hooked.
Yeah, I understand that. And I've always played all sports. I played cricket to a reasonably high level.
Yeah.
Played football. I think golf teaches you a lot about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's an completely individual sport, and you're only ever playing against yourself. And I think it's a catch for everybody.
And I think when I look back, that was probably the reason why I got into it, because I used to be, a decent tennis player, but of course you need someone else to play with. I used to be I was a goalkeeper. I wouldn't say footballer.
I was a keeper as well. You have to be a bit mad to be a keeper.
Yeah, and again, you need other people to play with. And when I moved to Manchester, I was kind of sitting there initially going, I haven't got any friends around here now. I'm new to the place. What can I do which keeps me active? Then I don't have to rely on anyone. Because the other thing, of course, is your mates would be like, no, I'm out on the slot or whatever it might be. So that was another reason why I took it up, because I can do it on my own when I want to.
Yeah. It is very good that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can sort of dip in, dip out. Oh, I've got a free couple of hours, I can just pick up the clubs and off I go.
Yeah, or go to the driving range or whatever it might be. Yeah. Okay, so when you started, did you join a club straight away? Or
a couple of my clients were very, very keen golfers, and that's sort of how I got involved. Started playing with those guys, which was embarrassing because when you know what you're like when you start. And there were 2 scratch golfers, one of them pro.
Oh my
within
God.
our group, and
you went out with them.
Very, very intimidating. But you get through it, and most golfers you find are very supportive.
Yeah,
and they'll help you through. It's everybody starts at the same level.
Yeah.
And it's just a sociable thing as well. Such a great game.
Okay, and then in terms of how we all start, and we're pretty poor, right? And unless you're Tiger Woods, probably start pretty good. I'm going to ask, what did you get down to, assuming that you're not at your best at the moment? But then again, you have just won a couple of comps, which we'll come on to.
I am at my best at the moment.
Yes, he is.
No, I got because the guys I used to play with went away every year to Spain, to Spain to play 5 games, I think, in 7 days.
Yeah.
The courses we played down in Malaga, you had to have a handicap of 16,
right,
or lower. So that's what drove me to improve. And I did get down to 16.
Okay.
It was probably the best I could play then.
Yeah.
You learn as you go along, and
Yeah.
you take lessons as well. Don't be afraid of taking lessons.
Right.
But I got down to 16. Then I had my snowballing accident, and never really got back to it. I say for 12 years. So, having come here, difficult course, great course. The more you play, the better you get. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
The more you practice, the better you get.
And do you so as Sue's mentioned in the past, I'm still getting my head around it, but we here at HDA we're unified with another 2 courses.
Yes, YouGolf runs Serenus and Marmanor and HDA. They manage them.
So do you play mostly on HDA, or do you actually go and share the other 2 as well?
No, we do play mostly here.
Okay.
There's been occasions when the course has been closed for preparation for all the work they've done.
Yeah.
YouGolf give us free use of the other courses at the moment.
Okay.
So we have played away at Serenus and Marmanor, which are both really good courses.
You've played there quite a bit, haven't you, on and off?
Yeah. It's because we have our own buggy here. All we pay when we go away is €10 for the use
because
of
they're
buggy.
full members all year.
Brilliant.
So they get a really good deal.
Now, give me an honest opinion then, right? When it's at its best, and you've seen it at its best here, right? How would you rate HDA?
HDA is a fantastic course.
Yeah.
I've played at Soto Grande and all sorts of Valderrama. Our clubhouse.
Oh, I love the
second to none.
Superb.
I absolutely.
Superb.
I think it's a gem, and they don't
The
do
vista
enough with
is
it.
unbelievable.
It's beautiful. I mean, when I came here myself, I fell in love with it. So yeah, it's got a great facility if they only used it more.
But the course is a great course. Very, very difficult. Sublimely difficult. It looks reasonably easy, but it's certainly not. The way the bunkers are designed, the way the course itself is designed. If you're hitting a driver as a normal Joe, you're in trouble more times than you're not. The landing areas are small.
Yeah.
Every approach to the green is designed so that it's covered by bunkers.
Yeah, I think almost every hole except one has got bunkers approaching the green on either side.
Yeah.
So you've got to really be precise.
Yeah. And it teaches you to hit the ball in the air as well.
Yeah,
Which
you've got
is-
to get it up, haven't you? Yeah.
Which is a great course.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm fortunate enough to have played it a couple of years back when it was lovely. It is struggling at the moment, but that's because they're investing in it, and you've got to expect it to be going through a few changes. And so, but the irrigation's been done now.
Yeah, and it's being watered 3 times a day.
Wow. Okay, so we seem hopefully, in the next couple of months, it might turn around by September. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we're already seeing, Steve, the grass growing, aren't we?
Oh, yeah,
Every
definitely.
time we go and play, every couple of days, you can see a change on the
If
fairways.
you look across the course, it's starting to look green.
And you mentioned your wife, who now plays. Did she only start when she came over here?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
what a
she's-
course to learn on.
Yeah, not easy. Certainly not easy. She started February 2000, 3 years ago.
She's playing really
she's
well.
She's only played for 3 years.
So, listeners, the reason why we got Steve on, well, one of the reasons, was Sue's been tasked with trying to get winners of the local
Trophy
competitions,
competitions, yeah.
right, as guests on here. So Steve is the first, and the reason why Steve, he's kind of hogging this now because he's in the last month. Is it last month?
Yeah.
In the last month, there's only been one winner of the local trophies, from what I can imagine.
Yeah, 2 trophy competitions. There's almost one a month, and they're within a month of each other. And
Steve's won them both.
he's won
Not
both.
me. No. Not
And
just
do
me.
you know what?
My wife and I.
I was-
Yeah, don't forget that.
I was only talking to him at the table before you became the winner, and I said, just in general, has anybody actually won? Because was it this St. George?
We won St
Burns.
David's.
St. David's,
St
sorry.
David's first.
Yeah, but on Wednesday,
And then,
on Thursday, sorry,
Was St. George's.
or St. George on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
St. George's. So I just sat there before the results came in, and I just put it out there and said, has anybody actually won the Grand Slam of all the sort of, the St. George, the St. Andrew, the St. David,
and St. Patrick.
and St. Patrick? And they went, no one's ever done that. This, that, and the other. So they were racking their brains. No, not even as a career, not even spare over time. No. But Steve is started with the St.
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 David's.
David's
St. David's.
first,
And then
Yeah.
on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, he sat there, and the next minute gets announced as the St. George winner.
Yeah.
So he's now got 2 out of the 4.
Yeah.
So this could be. I don't want to put kibosh on it.
the pressure's on because St. Patrick's should have been in March, but it was rained off, and that's the end of the month. So
Yeah.
On the end of May.
Well, it's actually next Saturday now. It's come
Wow.
round quick. So next Saturday is St. Patrick's competition.
Don't let me down, Steve.
And
Don't let me
we
down.
a trot within a month and a half. You never know.
You're gonna have to find someone else who is a guest here.
I know.
But we will be playing with Sue and her husband.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
In fact, actually, I think the last 2 competitions you've won, we were your partners, weren't we, Brian and I?
Yes.
We were, yeah. So it's
We've got
team luck.
great support.
hey, hang on a second. I think there's a bit of a cartel going on. Not just that, though, right? So get this, everybody. Conspiracy theories. Just put it out there, right? Sue is on the committee at the golf club, and I was looking on Facebook the other day, and last week you won 2 competitions as well.
I
You
did,
and Brian.
yeah. My golf is coming back. I had an ample operation in November, had it pinned, and now had about 20 games since I've come back, and my old golf game's back.
Wow. So maybe is the moral of the story? Do an injury, get fixed, and then come back. And it's like the bionic man.
The handicap hasn't moved yet, you see. So I'm trying to get in as many wins before the handicap adjusts itself.
But no, and to add to that is I broke my ankle and got it pinned when I was playing cricket. All right, and that was in my early 20s. And then when I came back, hole in one, won the competition at the club,
Yeah.
trophy. That's what it is, everybody.
Yeah.
Get an injury. Get a cup.
Get fit.
I think you come back and you focus so much because you know you've had an injury and you're trying to work around it. So you focus on sort of what you need to do and hitting the ball correctly,
Yeah.
taking a bit more time. And then all of a sudden your game, you go, well, I'm on a score here after 9. You go, right, I need to keep this going. I've got another 9 holes to go.
So my trouble, Steve, when I'm playing golf is I don't concentrate that much, right? And so I remember when I won my, I call it the major. When I won my major, I felt like, yeah, whatever, and I just rocked up, and I hit a few, and I was doing okay. And then I kind of have a bit of a dip because I lose interest, right? About in the middle, sort of 3 or 4, and then you kind of sit there and go, oh, I'm doing quite well. Right? But then that to me sometimes puts me right off. So if I'm getting to like the 17th or the 16th, I'm thinking, I'm not going to shout here. Normally,
I've got to make a score now.
yeah, and normally that's when it goes a bit wrong. So how did you feel? Did you feel in the last 2 comps? I'm doing well.
No, because you never really know
Right.
what the score is going to be when everyone comes in.
Yeah, but you got to get a feel if you're striking it well.
I think
You
my biggest
sink it
issue
through
is I
putts.
beat myself up. My wife carried me round the first 9 holes, both of those competitions.
Then
give
you
her
came-
give her a
then you came
shout out.
alive, yeah.
What's the name?
Julie.
Julie. Well done, Julie, I say.
But she did. And then I get to a point where everything, I get a bit more relaxed and then I hit the ball well. But I do think your point, I think that's the same for that's amateur golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
If you can
you
dovetail.
relax, it goes well.
Yeah.
You start to concentrate too much and it doesn't. We're not professionals.
Yeah.
Right. And the stress and pressures we put on ourselves are ridiculous, really.
Yeah.
Right.
And with the course at the moment still trying to come back to life,
Yeah.
and the way it is, you don't know what the ball's going to do when it lands. We're not rolling as much anymore because it's been sanded and hollow timed, so it's stopping and things like that. So it really is a bit of you don't know what the winning score is going to be.
Right. Well, I'm going to get a bit technical now. I'm going to sit there and say, what are the golf clubs of a champion? What do you play with?
I play with Callaway's.
Okay. And in terms of what golf balls?
I do like Pro V1s, and I know a lot of people
about Pro V1s.
I don't. A lot of people poo-poo it, but they do. For me, they seem to suit my game.
It's because you're rich. Because
No.
as an amateur, right? Everyone used to go on about Pro V1s. I lose too many of them. So
Yeah.
So,
Oh, don't get me wrong, I still lose them.
well, you can afford to replace them. So I normally play restrictions, right? Whatever they call you.
I like Strixons. Yeah.
And it was only because it was a restriction that I got my first backspin with. Right? I didn't know how I did it. Or I thought they were great, really soft tricks and balls. And so since then, that was it. I felt like a pro.
That's like everything else, though, Chris. Is if you're confident with it,
Yeah.
it tends to work better.
Yeah.
But then again, so there are. And are you a stickler for that? Will you only play three?
Oh no. I've been using the Tommy Fleetwood, the TPX ones with little patterns on them as well, because no one else uses those here. And if I get one found somewhere, someone will give it back to me.
Well, you do.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Like Susan had big SS.
My SS written on my balls. I keep getting them handed back to me, which is superb.
You do know now, though, that you get, as being a guest, you do get the branded Funky Bear golf ball.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So
I can't play with that, Chris.
you can
I
either
don't
use
want
it
to
as a
lose it.
trophy, as a little memento, or you can smash it around the golf course out of frustration. And in fact, there is one on the golf course.
Is there? Oh, we'll have to try and hunt that down.
So I used one the other day, and I was getting a bit cocky because I played on the Monday and it was warm. I was proud of myself. So then I thought, well, I'll get the old Funky Bear golf balls out.
Which is a Pro V.
Oh,
This one, sorry?
It's a Pro V one.
No, it's not.
Was it? It's
No.
Pro V, isn't it?
No, they're Vice balls.
Oh, Vice. Sorry.
they're good
Vice
balls,
balls.
aren't they?
Yeah, and
Good
I
times.
got him out and I lost it on the fourth.
Right, we'll go looking.
Oh,
at That's where we're going to go hunting.
On the beautiful wild flowers on the fourth then.
No, it wasn't a very good shot. You know, off the four, down the left.
Yeah.
Those first bushes.
Yeah, you've
went
got to
right
hit
in
over
there
the bushes first. Yeah.
So the one good thing about playing with Funky Bear, obviously, is no one else has got.
We know who it belongs to.
And
Yeah.
So there you go. So you get one of them. So Sue will give you that.
Yes, I will.
When you next see her.
When we next play.
Okay, and in terms of how often do you play?
We're playing 3 times a week.
What?
We are supposed to have 2 federated games. Of course, because of the repairs and stuff, we're not actually federated at the moment.
Yeah.
But ordinarily, we play 2 federated games as singles.
Yeah.
And then we have on Thursday a fantastic team game, which is mixed up, and you go out with 3 other guys or 3 other ladies or whoever, and it's a real good time.
Do you ever play any social golf? Because that to me sounds like it's a competition every time.
Yes, we do. We have a fun golf society.
Right.
Where, my daughter bought me for Christmas a pack of cards,
Right.
which are good cards and bad cards.
Okay.
And again, you go out in a group of 4. We had 16.
16 of us, yeah.
16 on
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
So the rules are you can't play with your spouse either as a partner or in the same group.
Opposite pair, yeah.
So we
Well, that's
all
good.
mix
Yeah.
amongst the 16 of us, and then you draw 3 good cards, 3 bad cards.
Right.
Bad cards you play against your opposing pair that you're playing against in your
yeah.
group, and the good ones
Well,
assist
give me an
you.
example. What's a bad card?
We have a Happy Gilmore. So, needless to say, on the 8th, where the water is,
Yeah.
if your opposing team members they give you that card, right? You're going to do a Happy Gilmore hit,
Right.
and you've seen that. The Happy Gilmore shot, you have to run up and hit it.
Yeah.
It normally goes in the lake, I will say that.
I bet you I know who's good at that.
Who?
Peggy.
Oh,
if
no.
If Peggy the Happy Gilmore, I don't think she'd bash it a mile.
Oh, I'll tell you what, she can hit a ball a long way.
She's a hockey
Yeah,
player, isn't she?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
so she should.
yeah.
Right. Peggy, if you're listening, right? If ever I'm playing against you and I get these cards, you're getting a Happy Gilmore.
You watch that knee, Peggy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of your favourite golf course, so because when I used to come out and play, we used to go to Spain as well because it was guaranteed weather. It's nice to go back home.
Yeah.
And I've played quite a few, I guess around the world. But I must admit, my favourite course I've played is PGA Catalunya in Girona.
Okay.
Absolutely a gorgeous. They played the Spanish national and everything else. Don't know if you've ever played it.
No.
But honestly, I would recommend that to absolutely anyone. I love that course, and I've played Royal Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Not a big fan of Royal Liverpool. I mean, it's got the history and everything else, but for someone like me, it's just not for me. So, what is the best?
The best course I've played at is Valderrama.
Really?
Probably because of the history behind it.
Yeah.
Clubhouse isn't much, but it's the course itself was immaculate.
What
really.
about La Manga?
I've never played any of the 3 courses at La Manga.
Okay.
No.
It's really hard to get in there. It's such a good waiting list. You've got to be a couple of months ahead.
Very briefly, on Wednesday, Tuesday, sorry, there was a guest over here, only a year old, with his wife, and he'd just come back from playing La Manga.
Oh, okay.
And he'd spent, get this though, something like $60 each way on a taxi and $180 on a round of golf.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good part, $300.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you've got to be a serious golfer, haven't you?
Yeah, and I just thought, Jesus, a lot of cash, $300.
Yeah.
So, but it got me to think that people are willing to pay it.
Oh,
if
yes.
the course is up. Right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, they've got 3 separate courses up there. So you can choose. They vary in design as well. So they're not all the same type of course, and they're different undulations as well. So that each one is completely different.
Okay. But Valderrama, I've never played it. Heard off it a lot.
Well, nowadays, you pay. I mean, this was, I say, when I started golf 25 years ago, when I went away with the boys. I don't think you get in there now, and you'd be paying best part probably €300 to play there. Wow.
You say you got a buggy as well.
Yeah.
Is that a must for around the course?
No, not at all. We've got a little bit lazy since we got the buggy because we used to walk all the time, and we only really got the buggy to ride through the summer when it's too hot to walk.
Yeah.
But we are getting back to walking.
Yeah.
Right.
Team comps, it's good to have the buggy because if you're doing something like a waltz where you choose, or a Texas Scramble, you choose one ball that you all use the same point to take your next shot from. Yeah. So someone goes around with the buggy picking all the other balls up and bringing them back. So sometimes it's good to have the buggy, but you do get lazy, don't you? You do sort of go, oh, it's easy, we'll just take the buggy.
Another question about your bests and worst. Hole in one?
No.
Close?
Not yet.
Holes. Yeah. Edge of the hole twice, two or 3 inches, probably 4 or 5 times.
Right.
And you just think it's one of those things. It's either going to happen.
It's luck, though, isn't it?
I think
it's luck, or is it skill?
I've seen some outrageous hole-in ones.
Yeah.
And it is, a lot of them are luck. Yeah, you've got to be a reasonable golfer. But it's a weird thing. Is it going to happen?
Yeah.
You stand up every day. You stand up with the par 3s and you see people hit the point. You think, that's a good shot. That's a really good shot. But how often do they go in? Very rarely.
So many get close to the hole, but it just doesn't go in. So I think you need that extra added luck to just get it to go in.
A guy I used to play with, his wife started playing golf.
Yeah.
She was a teacher at our local school, and our children came home. The first week she played, she had a hole in one.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The very first week, playing with her husband, who had only had one hole in one.
Jeez.
4 weeks later, she had another.
Oh, guess how it is.
Wow.
Oh my God.
She then had another hole in one. So she had 3 to his 1.
Oh, bet that didn't go down well.
Yeah.
She told us about it, and she said, he told me to hit this club, so I'm not in that club, I'm in this club.
Wow.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of golf.
Okay, best part of your game?
That depends on what week it is. Somebody once said you only ever get 2 parts of your game. You can either drive and use your irons and can't putt, or you can putt and drive and you can't use your irons. It varies. I think historically, my irons are the best part of my game.
Okay.
I'm reasonably good into the green.
Right.
I've stopped using the driver over the last week because there's pointless being 280 yards down there if down there's nowhere near the fairway. But I hit a 3-wood reasonably well, so I can hit a 3-wood off the tee and still get there. So,
I mean, and the thing around here, because it's one of the longest courses, isn't it?
Yeah. You do need to hit the ball.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, I've lost a lot of distance as I'm getting older. But the good thing about it is I'm getting straighter.
Yeah.
So whether I slow my swing right down, but now I don't mind driving off the on every hole, and it's pretty straight. It's just not as
well. That's it. It's a 6,000 meter course, so you've got to try and work your way down it as closely as you can down the middle. Otherwise, you're going to be doing 7,000 meters by the time you're searching for your ball and going everywhere else.
Yeah. Okay, that's. And what about putting?
Putting comes and goes. At the moment, my putting's good.
Yeah.
But my putting and chipping was always very good, and then my putting just disappeared But I had a growth on my finger which I had to have lasered off, and I had to change my grip to putt for about a year, and then I didn't go back to how I used to grip the putter until very recently.
Yeah.
And you'll probably agree, my putting's come back because I'm suddenly holding the putter how I was holding it before. It's weird,
right?
Yeah.
But you change things, and then your brain forgets how you did it originally.
And worst part of the game?
Worst part of the game, me.
Because
beating myself up.
How your head turns up on the day.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, we always have that together. I mean, you really golf. But then you have that one hole or that one shot, and you just go, oh, I've got it. I'm like Rory McIlroy.
But that is golf, isn't it?
Yeah.
People get hooked on golf because you go out there as a complete novice and you get that one shot that comes off the club. You don't feel it, and it goes miles, and you think, I can do this.
Yeah.
We just can't do it consistently.
I know, that's the trouble.
Right.
And because for me, it's I used to be really nervous on the first tee. When everyone's in the balcony watching, I used to hate that. I also used to hate the shot into the 18th.
Yeah.
Again, if it was facing the balcony at the clubhouse. But I guess generally, I used to be quite scared of being in the bunker. And now, because I'm in the bunker so often, it's gone now.
Yeah, it's frequency. You have days, don't we, where we play and we just are not out of the bunker.
Yeah.
Wherever you hit, you end up in the bunker, and it's like, not another bunker.
Yeah.
And literally every hole you find a bunker.
Well, especially here with a number of bunkers.
Yeah, you must be 4 bunkers minimum on each hole. But if you're on a good day, you can not go in any of them, and you're straight down the middle, and it's bang, bang, bang down to the green, and it's great. But they're all different, aren't they? The greens, some of their bunkers are thick sand, and some of them at the moment are quite dry, low sand, so they're hard. So you've got to learn to play various bunker styles
and know which bunkers are. Which really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm coming to the end of the session with you now. It's been great talking to you. I think, fingers crossed, right, for the next St. Patrick's in a month's time, did you say?
No, week.
Week. In a week's time.
Next Saturday.
All right. So this podcast will be
3rd of May
out by then, guys. So you're going to have to wait to the podcast after that to see whether or not Steve is on track to gear up to
Steve and Julie.
A seasonal.
Don't forget Julie.
A seasonal ground star. Oh yes. Is it a pairs one again?
Yes. Yeah.
And
no, it's
St. Patrick's is, I can't remember now.
Was it a scramble?
It might have been a scramble, I think.
And sorry, one last thing I haven't asked you. Have you won any majors? Well, of course you could major. When I call a major,
boarded competition.
Yeah, a major is on name on the board.
No, unlike Sue's husband, who won Founders last year. I've come runner-up 3 times.
Oh.
I came runner-up Autumn Cup last year. I just need to concentrate more.
What about not even at home?
No. I didn't really play competitive golf at home. It was all social golf.
Right, okay. Because I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast. My father-in-law used to be a member at Royal Stag Ports down in Deal. And that's what got me. I would have been, again, in my early 20s. And I remember walking in, if you've ever been to that course,
No.
but they used to play the house hosted the Open there. And I remember walking into the clubhouse and just seeing this massive staircase, and above it was all the names of the people going back all these years. And there was my father-in-law from the 60s with his name on it. And I just thought, do you know what? That's one thing they can't take away from me.
Yeah.
Right? And ever since then, I thought, I'm going to get my name on a board somewhere, because then maybe in years to come, either my kids or whatever might go to that clubhouse and go, oh, look, there's Dad, or
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
And that was my drive. And unfortunately, fortunately, I achieved it, but then I kind of went, oh, I've done that, and move on. Yeah, so that's why I'll never be a great sportsman, because you get the likes of the Rory McIlroys and the Tiger Woods who sit and go, I've won one, I want to win another one.
Yeah.
I just went, tick that,
Yeah.
and move on. Right? And sort of that seems to be the story of my life. Once I achieve something, I kind of go, I need another challenge.
Goals, different goals.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, your goal then, get yourself on that board in the clubhouse.
Yeah, well, club championships are coming up mid-year. They're usually, they were going to be the 31st of May to the 1st of June. It's a 2-day for the good handicappers, or the low handicappers. So it's a gross and a net competition. But we're actually, just because of the course and wanted it to be improved a little bit more, the decision, hot news off the press, we're moving it back to the 6th and 7th September so that the course will be in a bit better condition. So you never know, by then he might be a couple more months, might be up there on the board.
Well, the game would have
You're gonna have to
disappeared.
come back on here.
It could have disappeared completely by then, Chris.
You're gonna be a regular on here, I think. You're gonna just have the Steve slot on the podcast. Steve, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
No, it's been great to meet you.
Good luck with the rest of this season. What do you win, by the way?
There's a big trophy and you get your name engraved on the trophy.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to sort of have the kudos of the day with the trophy and pictures and all that type of stuff. And then you win a prize voucher for a golf shop that we use, Bal Seekers, which is the great golf company. And they do a lot of our vouchers for us throughout the year for a lot of competitions. And it's a great place to get new clubs, new golf kit, all that type of stuff. Really good place.
An absolute pleasure. You can either stay on and continue with us if you want, or
No, I'm happy to stay if you're happy to
no,
happy.
because what we're going to do now is move on to more general kind of golfing stuff around HDA.
Yeah.
So this is Sue's slot, so to speak.
Bit of a catch up on the last one, where we're at and what we're doing.
Catch up. I mean, one thing as well, by the way, everybody. I know I don't think I have mentioned it on the other podcast. So this is the first announcement, I think, because believe it or not, everybody, I was felt like a bit of a rock star, because we got some announcements on Friday where we got our rankings.
Oh yes, for the podcasts. Yeah.
So, again, we've only been going 4 weeks now, and we celebrated getting our 1,000th download a few weeks back, which is great.
Yeah.
You know? And then next minute, I got this notification saying, we're number 3 in the Apple podcast charts.
Wow.
I'm quite excited, thinking number 33, and it said in Oman. So I don't know what the people in Oman are thinking about us, but for some reason we are number 3 in the 33 in the charts in Oman. So do you know what, Sue? If we turn up there and just talk, we might get mobbed.
Yeah,
know what
you'd
we're
have to be
doing.
careful. You wouldn't have to want to go in a funky bear outfit, would you?
But also, so then I checked where we were in the UK, and we're only 83 in the UK. But do you know what?
That's good though.
I'll still take top 100.
That's really good. Exactly. Yeah.
And all we do is advertise on Facebook. So yeah, I think, there are people out there who are listening to us.
Yeah, good.
And we're getting some traction.
Good.
So let's keep it going.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
So,
Because we're interesting enough to listen to. When you're having a cup of tea in the morning or your breakfast or whatever.
Well, it is, and you know what? Sometimes when you're talking into these microphones, and you hope people are listening, and you're not just talking to the ether. So it's nice to know and get some recognition that maybe people are listening to us.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep it going. Thanks to all those listeners who have downloaded it and also listened to us.
Or got any questions for us?
Well, so yes, we've got that WhatsApp number, which I will give a bit later on. Get in touch with us. We'll give you a shout out if you've got any questions about HDA.
Yes.
I'll post them to Sue. Drop us a WhatsApp message, and we'll do our best to answer it.
Yeah.
To get in touch, leave us a WhatsApp voice note on +44 7503 061 799. That's +44 7503 061 799. Or text us on the same number.
Hey guys, it's Nicole from Lockheed's. Wow, what an amazing show. I love Hacienda Life and everything it brings. It's almost as good as my cocktails.
Steve's going to stay with us, so he might chip in. So feel free to chip in, Steve, if you've got any comments.
I certainly will.
We're now going to have a bit of an update about HDA in general.
Yes. Well, when we were last talking, and a bit of background for new listeners, is we've had about 6-7 months of the course being totally ripped apart effectively and putting new plumbing in throughout for irrigation, which of course was 15 years old minimum, a couple of years old, and that probably 20 by the time it started. So all the pipes have been relayed, all the irrigation's been redone, and now it's all the groundwork's been repaired, and that repair is now happened. We're finished. We've been hollow-tined just recently on the fairways. A couple of weeks earlier, we were hollow-tined on the greens as well. So the greens are getting faster now. So all the holes are disappearing. The sand's bedded in, starting to grow. They're getting cut regularly. We're even getting lines in the grass now by the greenkeepers. So it's really becoming to look a bit more professional than it has been because of the irrigation work that's been going on.
Been good.
The greens have been. They've been very good at making sure that even though the fairways were going under this construction, that the greens have been kept top-notch. Yeah.
So I mean, if you don't mind, I'm going to say I'm going to get shot down. I've got two members looking at me going, "What's he going to say?" but so I don't play the Lofter only because I'm not a resident here as such, full-time resident. And I played it twice last week, and I was I knew of all the stuff that had gone on, but I felt a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
But that's only because I knew what it can be like.
Yes.
And so I played it, and there's a lot of bare grass in places.
Yeah,
there's a lot of weeds in some places. And I think just the general upkeep, right?
Yeah.
And it needs a bit of TLC.
It does look that way. We actually had a letter from the director of YouGolf yesterday to the golf committee, who is asking for patience from us just at the moment. They're at the end of all their work, but what they're doing is what you're referring to. There's weeds on the fairways, quite tall weeds, a foot tall, whatever, and in sections, quite a lot of them. So it's stopping your ball. It's not a regular golf course at the moment, and no one's playing federated golf by any means. But the reason why they haven't cut all their weeds down is because having hollow-tined recently, they then sanded and put feed in. They didn't want the weeds to go into the hollow-tining holes.
Okay.
So what they're doing is they're spraying the weeds, which with healthy animal weed, so it takes a little bit longer to kill the weeds off, but the weeds are starting to droop now. The holes are nearly closed up, so they can start mowing. So it had to be a process of one versus the other. If you weren't aware of that, you'd look at it and go, oh my God, this looks a mess. And it does. But within the next couple of days, that's all going to go. All the weeds are gone.
I think the other thing, Sue, is because we are primarily Bermuda grass, we need a certain amount of heat
for it to grow.
And it will lie dormant. It will lie dormant for 20 years. And then if the heat and the water comes back, it'll start growing again. You've played, so you'll have seen that the 5th and the 6th holes, which they actually did all the work on the prior year.
Yeah, the prior
So
May.
when you look at the 5th and 6th holes, with the amount of grass that's on there, that's what the whole course will be like.
Yeah.
It just needs a little time.
The 5th is lovely.
It is. And you've got the really nice thick rough now. It's not wiry anymore because the grass has been growing for so long and been cut so regularly that it's actually quite nice, pristine course. So we know that the course is going to bounce back.
Okay, and then, but do you know so it's a desert course?
Yes.
Right? So if you go off the fairways, that
onto the pan.
I thought it was like sandy area, but it's quite hard.
Yeah, you can either find patches of deep sand, or on the whole, it's solid.
Is it meant to be like that, or is that because could they not sort of I want to say rake it with a tractor or something?
No, it's designed to be like
that.
If you're off the course, you're in trouble.
That's the creating the difficulty for the course.
Right.
That's where the course was purposely made as a desert type course, so that if you weren't good enough to stay on the fairways or at the bunkers, you're on the pan and that's it. And now you have flowers in the pan, and you also can have gullyways, water-run gullyways if it's been raining, or you can have there's trees, olive trees and walnut trees. Get any what relief?
Yeah, if it goes into one of the water gullies on that.
At the moment, it can vary by local rule, but at the moment, if your ball is over halfway under the lie of the land, you can pick and place.
Okay. And the other thing, because again, I can't wait for the ninth to come back, because I think it's a beautiful hole as well.
It is a lovely
you
hole.
tee off over the water, and then you've got water again near the hole.
By
I
the
think
green.
I think it's a good challenging hole.
It is, because it goes very narrow as you come into the green. So on the right, you've got this lovely lake, and on the left, you've got two sets of bunkers. And then you've got a pan area behind that with the palm trees on, and a bridge, and a rocky area, which is all out of bounds. So you've really got to be quite careful and straight into that last bit. So where you really want to stretch it and go, I can make 120 metres and I'll get on the green, you go, ooh, but if I get it slightly wrong, I'm either in the water or I'm on the pan, it's going to keep bouncing.
And then if you're trying to lay up, it's a very narrow area as well. So it is a difficult one.
I think it's one of my favourite.
Yeah.
And then, and of course, as well, it needs a bit of TLC, because as I was driving over the bridges, those things need
glad you mentioned that. Yeah, they do. The bridges were built when the course was first built, with having all the tractors and machines going around the course. One or two of them went over the bridges, which has broken one of the bridges totally in the foundation. So the whole foundation and the bridge has to come out. So that's going through the usual sort of insurance claim, things like that. But it is being looked at and will be mended. And the other bridge, there's slight repairs, but nothing major that needs to be done.
But they've already been identified as they're going to get fixed.
Yes, they are. They're already on the list to be done. So they might take a bit longer. And at the moment, until we work another route round the course, we can't federate. So at the moment, we're all working together to try and work out how we can federate and not have this bridge in play. Because before you go over the bridge on the 10th, you have the men's yellow tees, white tees, and the ladies' reds. So at the moment, we're all playing a shorter 10th hole off the Dutch, what we call the Dutch orange tees, because they're shorter. And we've recalculated the hole, but it means we can't do federated. So until we get that bridge fixed, we're trying to work out how we can do it, but we can federate the front nine. No. And this is something we're discussing.
In terms of, I'm glad you brought up the tees there and the colours, because are the comp ones black?
No, generally, ladies play off reds, men play off yellows. Some competitions, the men play off the whites.
Yeah, founders.
Founders
championships.
And championship. The black tees, we have a group of guys. We play on a Wednesday occasionally where we're called Men in Black.
Right.
And we dress in black and we play off the black tees for 9 holes. And it's a completely different course.
Right. That's like the pro tees.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's great. I mean, even that, it's fun to do. It's just different. It makes the course completely different.
It gives you a very different visual on the drive definitely. From the different hole, from the different tee boxes. It really does.
I was just a bit confused when I first played it today, because I thought, do we play off whites or yellows? Because in the UK, we play men off yellows.
Yeah, we do here as well.
Yeah, we do. The men play off the yellows in general. Yeah.
But where you would think on some courses, the tee boxes are all behind each other in a line. You go, well, they're not different. Here, they're not. They're curved or angled, so that every tee box you play off gives you a different view aspect of the drive you're going to have to make.
Okay. So you've had these updates, which sounds good. So it sounds like you golf are committed to getting the maintenance side.
100%. They want the course to be up and running how it was as well. So they're going as fast as they can with the greenkeepers. They've got a new head greenkeeper as well, which I mentioned last podcast, which is doing a really, really good job. We could do with 1,000 more people just to get it really finished. But again, we're still having to wait for the weather. We're now 25 degrees in the day. Perfect. We're still a bit too cold at night.
The thing is as well, though, I guess, is I only paid $20. Right?
Yeah.
I only played 9 holes, but I'm only paying $20. And so you've got to take that into account as well.
It is.
I think when it was at its best, when it was better than it was, I think I was paying $90.
Yeah.
You know? So when it's all up and ready, is it going to go back to that?
I reckon. Just guessing here, from what I've been hearing, is around about September when the course will be deemed to be more suitable of a golf course and look like a proper golf course again.
Right.
I'm sure that's when they'll look at reviewing the prices again, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
They have to make money and investment on what they've put in.
Well, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at the likes of La Manga at 180, $300, whatever it might be, I think there was a reason why.
Yeah.
HJ isn't that price.
Yeah.
Right? And at
Exactly.
the moment,
Exactly.
You wouldn't want to pay those kind of prices. I
No.
don't think it's up there.
No.
But
But it's a
$20.
good time to come and learn the course so that when it is up and running, you learn the course, you know how it plays, and then you're firing away on all cylinders.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of membership, everything else, I mean, you could do probably with more members. Is that also?
Well, the HDA golf members itself has been going fantastically. We're using the Facebook more to promote over the last 4 or so months, and we are now 500 members, whereas it was about 150, something like that, not that long ago.
Hang on. Well, is it 500 members? That's 500 Facebook group members?
Yes,
or
group
500
members.
in the clubhouse?
There's 200 HDA Golf Committee signed up annually paid golfers, 200.
Yeah.
Out of those, some of them live here, some live away, so come and go.
Right.
But there's 200 at the moment on our books.
Okay.
And out of that, we regularly get 60. We had 76 in St. George's competition playing. We're getting a lot of new Dutch members joining us, which is fantastic because they're living here full time. They're all just arriving in the last 6 months and moving in. So they're signing up straight away. So we're getting, it's growing all round.
Well, there's a catch-22, isn't there? Because there's always sort of, we want more members to boost the coffers and keep the investment going.
Yeah.
But with more members comes less availability.
There is, but I think there'll be a while for that yet. I think we're fingers crossed because
So there's
the
no
course.
trouble getting on the course.
No, not at all. You don't have to do months in advance like La Manga or anything like that. You can literally bring that morning and go, what's your availability? And they'll go, when would you like to play?
Right.
At the moment.
Okay.
So I don't think that will change until the course really comes back. I think it will be the most pristine will be spring, being honest, before we're really a really good course. But by September, we'll be seeing a better course, and then people will start hearing. And as people start hearing, people will start coming back.
Okay. Brilliant.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you say, so you've got a new greenkeeper?
Yes. Head greenkeeper.
I met Gary.
Gary's our marshal, Gary
Is he
McAlpine. He's been on contract. He was here last year,
Right.
and he's on a new contract again this year for 9 months, which is fantastic because he's really good. He knows his stuff, knows his golf. He makes sure that we keep to our tee times, that if there's any slow play, it gets moved on. Any fast players, they're aware it's not pushing up behind people. Very well done. And he helps us lay out all our competition boardings when we're there as well. But he's good.
He's a great guy.
He maintains
He's a
course.
sort of marshal that a course like this needs.
Yeah. And the longer he stays with HDA, the better because he's good for it.
Good.
Mm.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What about? I know it's not under your control. How are things going in the clubhouse?
Well, good. It's going in the right direction.
Okay.
We own a hotel. We've been working with them, the committee have been working with them closely to try and improve the services whilst we're up there because we're the biggest bulk people that arrive in one go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just couples and families and things like that come and go. So we're saying, look, we've got 60 players. We would like more than 1 or maybe 2 people behind the bar to make sure we can, have a drink afterwards and make you money by, the more people, the more staffing.
I must admit, when I was there again, when I came off the course, I was seen straight away.
Yes.
As soon as I sat down,
Yeah.
I was seen to drinks, ordered food. Food came within sort of 10 minutes.
Lovely.
And the food was great. So so I sat there and thought, this is brilliant, right? If they can keep this going,
Yes.
that's more money for them.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's now in the time of season where Easter was their first influx of guests for the hotel. So they've started an extra couple of staff in the hotel, which we were able to pull across. And you were there for St. George's competition last week.
Yeah.
They actually put an outside bar for us as well as the inside bar. They also put an outside eating areas and did paella for us. So for 76 people, they gave paella out and drinks. Everyone was served on time. Everyone got hot food. They could have seconds. They all had second and third drinks, no problem whatsoever. And quite a few stayed a lot longer than the presentations. It was excellent.
I thought it was well attended. It was sponsored by who?
Home Space.
Yeah.
Home Space is one of the house building contractors on site and maintenance, and he is our biggest sponsor throughout all our trophy competitions
He seems to be
this year. He is.
Yeah.
He's very
He's got
kindly, offered to do all our trophy competitions.
Right.
So there's only founders and club and championships now that we're looking to get more sponsorship, small and large, to help us really have those good events all year.
Well, shout out to Home Space for sponsoring,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. They did a cracking job.
Well done. Okay, anything else in terms of the club, house, golf in general?
No, I think we've about covered everything. I think
You've
for the
still-
moment,
I still keep asking you about your trip to
Desert Springs.
Desert Springs.
That is
When's it
on
gonna
the
be?
8th of May. 8th,
That's-
9th and 10th of May.
So that might be
So we've got St. Patrick's this next Saturday. The week following is Desert
right.
Springs.
So that's probably going to be about 3 weeks time.
Yes.
We do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Next podcast, we'll know whether or not Steve is on his third.
Yes,
day.
we will.
This
Yeah,
podcast
we will. We will.
Competition. So again, guys, let's build up the tension.
Guys, stop piling the pressure on.
Yeah, he's going to get to the first tee and go, oh my God.
We'll be there. We'll be there. We're behind you, Steve. Come on. And all the other guys, of course, but Steve. Come on. I want to see it. I want to see this career.
You know what? There's some really good teams at the moment, and really good people are really getting the right partners to play. So each time we come in from a course, from a game, we really don't know, do we, whether you're going to win, because there's so many cracking teams competing with each other at the moment. It's really good.
I'm putting myself out there
Really
to be
good.
Peggy's partner.
Oh, you should do.
Yeah,
You should do.
Thank you for listening. We need a male other half for golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Peg and I just agreed. We played fun golf on Friday, and I was in the buggy with her, and we agreed that we're going to do Saturday eclectics once a month together, because she gets nervous, believe it or not. Such a good player she is. She gets a little nervous, so doesn't like to compete in single competitions.
Yeah.
So a few of us have put our name for the match plays that we're now doing. So match plays are going to start very soon. All the names have been drawn. It's on our website, Wix website, HDA Golf members, and it's also on our Facebook site. And there's mixed pairs, single, i.e. men's pairs and ladies pairs, and then there's singles. And there's only 5 ladies this year who are tough enough to go, we're going to compete one-on-one. So we're doing a round robin. So we've all got to play each other, and we get points for playing, and the winners get the points. And then it's the one with the most points at the end of the year. Anyway, Peggy didn't want to do this because she said, no, I don't like to do that one-on-one thing. So I said, I'll tell you what, we'll do the eclectic together. That starts in May, hopefully. And again, we're just waiting for the course to be the right conditions to make it right. Because the eclectic is, you had to play a minimum of 3. We play 1 a month on a Saturday. And they accumulate to the end of the year. And then your handicap at the end of the year is taken off the points you've done your lowest rounds in. So the first game, I might go, I've done a really good first and second hole. I've hit par. The only way I can do that is by getting birdies. So that's probably going to be, for my level of game, par. Then if I have the rest of the games rubbish, it doesn't matter, because those 2 are still probably going to remain high. Next time I go, right, I don't need to worry about the first and second hole. I need to concentrate on the other holes, and I'll tick them off one by one, or have a really good game, tick quite a few off. And then all I do through each game each month is try and better that.
Okay.
So we said we'll jivvy each other up, and we'll book to play together on the eclectics.
Does HD have a golf society which goes around other golf clubs?
Yes, there is the Alamo Society, who play with us as well. And the Alamo Society that is different to us is they go to other sites and play other courses. Now, Steve, you've played with the Alamo Society, haven't you?
We played the Karma, I think, and
Mahaka, you've played up there that way, haven't you?
and it's great to go and play other courses. But a great group of people, really, really nice. We all sort of mix with each other. It's a great place to come to.
Yeah, we socialise together. We all live here with people who play the HCA Golf Committee, also play Alamo. Not all of them, but a number mixed crossover, because you get this variety of courses, which is superb for everyone.
Brilliant. Right, in which case,
We'll leave it there, shall we?
are we done?
Yeah, I think so for this time.
Right. There you go, everybody. There's the update. And if you're listening in Oman, can you please let us know why? Because we might come out there and do a roadshow. Do you remember those Radio 1 roadshows?
Oh, yes, I remember those as a child, yeah.
I would love to, just putting it out there, but I would love to do like like a live event, right? I don't mean broadcast.
Yeah.
What I mean is, maybe you and I are doing it in front of an audience, and we get audience participation. That's what I want. We'll set ourselves up in the golf club.
There you go.
Maybe on a competition day.
Sounds good. And we might do something a little like that with at Desert Springs. We might have a hole where we're recording the hole and talking through it and things like that.
Yeah, okay,
so
on
yes, exactly. So we're going to play with that idea and see how it works on the day. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I could then, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, well, you two, it's been
Thank
a
you very
pleasure.
much.
No, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Steve, for coming along.
Is this the first time you've been on something like this, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might convert him. He might come back again. He might be another co-host.
There
We've got
you
two
go.
co-hosts.
There
We've
you
got
go.
two co-hosts on the other one,
Yeah.
on the lifestyle.
Yeah.
We're after you.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks very
Thanks a
much.
lot.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
To get in touch, leave us a WhatsApp voice note on +44 7503 061 799. That's +44 7503 061 799. Or text us on the same number.
Brought to you by Funky Bear Productions. Follow us on our socials @Funky Bear Productions.